Welcome to this webinar for workers in the District of Columbia. My name is Nicola Nabeljuris, and on behalf of First Shift Justice Project, I look forward to sharing information with you about job-protected leave and monetary benefits when a child joins your family and you are not the person who gave birth. First Shift Justice Project empowers workers to assert their workplace rights. First Shift provides free counseling and legal support to workers in low-wage jobs related to pregnancy, illness, and caregiving, ranging from one-time consultations to full representation. Today's presentation is informational and is not legal advice. We encourage you to contact First Shift by phone, email, or via our online form for legal help, as every situation is different. This presentation is specifically for parents who are not recovering from childbirth, but are seeking job-protected leave and monetary benefits. In this presentation, you will learn how are parents eligible, what is job-protected leave, and how to receive benefits. First, your legal rights depend on where you work, not where you live. This presentation addresses the rights of people who work in the District of Columbia. DC workers have rights under DC law, even if they live in Maryland or Virginia. Please call First Shift if you have questions about your personal situation. Children join families in all different ways, and parents and caregivers need to take time off work to care for them. This presentation is specifically for DC workers taking parental leave, but they are not the person who gave birth to the child. This may include parents whose partners gave birth, parents who have adopted a child of any age, parents who have had a child through gestational surrogacy, foster parents welcoming a new child into their home, and relatives such as grandparents or aunts and uncles that are caring for a child in place of a child's legal parents. If you have questions about your situation and whether you qualify for parental leave and benefits, please call First Shift. When someone misses work, at least two things are critically important. First, as a worker, you need job-protected leave. This means that when you come back to work, you still have a job. Laws that provide workers with job-protected leave make sure that you don't get fired for missing work. Second, as a worker, you need monetary benefits. This means that you need some sort of money or income in order to pay your bills. Laws and workplace policies that provide benefits make sure that you have some sort of income while you miss work. Job-protected leave is a protection you request from your employer, such as through your human resources or HR department, not through the DC government. There are both federal and DC laws that make some workers eligible for job-protected leave, but not all workers. Both of these laws have different criteria to make workers eligible for leave, so it's important to talk with a lawyer about your situation. Under the Federal Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA, you must work for the same employer for at least 12 months, work an average of 24 hours a week, or 1,250 hours in a year, and work for a business that has at least 50 employees within 75 miles. If you fit all of these criteria, you would be eligible for 12 weeks of unpaid parental leave every year. Under the DC Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA, you must work for the same employer for at least 12 months over the last 7 years, work an average of 19 hours a week, or 1,000 hours in a year, and work for a business that has at least 20 employees in DC. If you fit all of these criteria, you would be eligible for 16 weeks of unpaid parental leave every 2 years. Here are some questions a lawyer might ask you to figure out if you are eligible for job-protected leave. How are you related to the child you are caring for? When did your child join your family? How long have you been working for your employer? How many people work for your employer? For how long do you plan to miss work? Have you taken this type of leave in the past few years? Here are some helpful tips for requesting job-protected leave. Tell your employer at least 30 days before you miss work, or as soon as possible. You should estimate the dates during which you will miss work. Sometimes employers are willing to negotiate a part-time or reduced schedule. You might need to complete forms for your employer. There are a few ways to receive monetary benefits when you miss work. Paid family leave benefits are paid by the DC government and may replace up to 90% of your wages. You need to submit an application to a government agency, the Office of Paid Family Leave. Employers can also choose to provide more paid time off through policies like sick time, vacation time, and paid time off, or PTO. Employers can make whatever rules they want about these kinds of leave, as long as they aren't illegally discriminating. such as giving more parental leave to a parent who gave birth rather than a parent who didn't give birth. Here are some questions a lawyer might ask you to determine if you're eligible for DC paid family leave benefits. How are you related to the child you are caring for? When did your child join your family? For how long do you plan to miss work? How long have you worked in DC? How many hours per week do you work in DC? How long have you received your current salary? Have you received paid family leave benefits before? Here are some helpful tips for applying for DC paid family leave benefits. Notify your employer at least 10 days before you miss work or as soon as possible. Complete an application through the DC Office of Paid Family Leave online portal. For parental benefits, you need proof a child joined your family, such as through birth or adoption. Your employer must provide you information about paid family leave benefits, but the DC government decides if you receive them and in what amount. You can combine benefits from the government and your employer. Apply to the DC government's Office of Paid Family Leave after you have a reason to miss work and before you take time off. In some cases, you can apply for benefits up to 30 days after you take leave, but it's best to apply as soon as possible. Finally, you will receive benefit payments approximately 1 to 4 weeks after you missed work and applied for benefits. Paid family leave benefits may replace up to 90% of your salary. It's possible that you might receive less than 90% of your salary because there is a cap to the benefits amount, which changes annually. The paid family leave benefits payment schedule is every other week. This schedule might be behind or different than your usual paycheck. You can choose to receive these benefits either through direct deposit into your bank account or through a prepaid debit card. Often, parents who give birth miss work both to care for their baby and to physically recover from pregnancy and childbirth. This means they typically take most or all of their leave time immediately after birth. Parents and caregivers who have not given birth may have more flexibility in when they take time off work. For example, you could plan to take multiple weeks of leave when your child is a few months old and your partner is returning to work. Or you could wait and take time off later, as long as it is within the first year from when your child joined your family. Often parents miss work for several weeks straight to be their child's primary caregiver, but you can also try to negotiate with your employer to work part-time, such as taking off 2 days each week to reduce your childcare costs. While you might have a legal right to take job-protected leave, there is no right to a part-time schedule. It's important to remember that you're allowed to take job-protected leave by the hour, like for medical appointments, but you can only receive paid family leave benefits by the day. Don't forget, workers need both job-protected leave, meaning you won't get fired for taking time off work, and monetary benefits, so you can pay bills when you miss work. As a parent who did not give birth, it's possible you might be eligible for both job-protected leave and paid family leave benefits, only one of them, or neither. Call First Shift for a free consult to learn about your rights. Thank you so much for learning more about your rights to parental leave and benefits. We hope this information is helpful to you if you work in the District of Columbia or if you support DC workers. Please explore the resources page on First Shift's website to learn more about your rights. If you have questions or would like advice from First Shift about your specific situation, please contact us. Email intake@firstshift.org, call our intake line at 202-644-9043, or fill out our web intake form. Thank you, and please watch our other webinars for more information.